G'day and welcome to the first ever episode of Trent 365. Today is Friday, the 1st of December in 2017, and I thought we might just kick off our first ever episode of the brand new show with a discussion about what is probably the biggest issue to hit the spa scene in a very long time, and that's the story about the Massage Envy sex scandal. Now, for those of you that don't know, Massage Envy is a big spa franchise in the US. They have around 1,200 locations, and this week it was revealed that over 180 individuals had filed sexual assault charges against therapists at Massage Envy locations. It's a massive story. There's still a hell of a lot to play out on this over the coming weeks and months. It's a great wake-up call for us, I think, in the industry, sad as it is. And it's particularly interesting to me because just a couple of weeks ago, I posted an article on LinkedIn entitled Sex and the Spa Industry. And I did that on the back of all of the discussions coming out of the US, again, out of the Hollywood area with the whole entertainment business or industry around the sexual harassment within that industry. And it struck me that that industry had basically been just putting their heads in the sand for a very long time. Everybody knew it was going on. They chose to either actively sweep it under the carpet or passively just ignore it and hope that it would go away. And that made me think about our industry, the spa industry. Are we doing the same thing in a way? Are we keeping our collective heads in the sand and not really talking about this issue of sexual harassment in the spa industry? And my perspective was not really about employee-employer sexual harassment. It was more from the client or the customer or the guest towards our therapists. Because let's face it, when you're having a massage, you're basically naked or near to naked, and then there's somebody who's going to be massaging and rubbing and stroking your body. Now, that can be a very sensual experience, and it's a very fine line, obviously, between sensual and sexual. And we all know that it happens a lot of times, I don't know, some. It certainly happens where the client or the customer comes into the treatment room expecting a little bit extra and asking for a bit extra, asking for that extra service, the happy ending, or whatever euphemism you like to use, basically asking for some kind of sexual service. And it's a massive issue in the industry that we don't talk about. And any therapist that I've spoken to who's been a therapist for very long at all has pretty much come across this themselves personally or knows somebody who it's happened to. So my point was that it's something that we as an industry need to take an active stand on before it becomes a big issue. Sure enough, 2 or 3 weeks later, it's become a massive issue for the industry. So what I'm trying to do is reach out to the people I know in the industry, some of the leading associations and companies, and trying to get them to maybe take a more active stance on this. Not only just take a position on the Massage Envy case, because that to me is not the big issue. The bigger issue is what are we doing as an industry, as leaders in the industry, to address this issue? What are we doing to educate our staff, our employees? What are we doing to support our employees when this stuff happens? What are we doing for guests, as in this case, or customers, like in Massage Envy's case, where people actually do get assaulted in our treatment rooms, in our spas? Because it happens. It obviously happens. It's just happened. So I think there's a lot to learn from this experience for the industry. Hopefully, like I said, it's a wake-up call. I'd love to hear what anyone else has got to say. If you wanted to head on over to LinkedIn and follow me there, there's a lot of conversation going on around this particular topic. I'll keep you updated as we progress. And I would challenge anybody in the industry to give it some thought. What are you doing about this issue? How have you addressed it with your team? What do you need to do to take a responsible attitude and responsible actions towards sex in the spa industry? Thanks for listening. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye now.